Welcome everyone, and thank you for clicking on that video. We are here with Olena Smolenko, and in a minute I will tell who she is. This video, we make it because I will run again my voice course called Unleashing Your Authentic Feminine Voice for Power and Impact. And Olena Smolenko, who is a psychologist from Ukraine, she's one of my first students in my beta groups, and I would like to have a little conversation around two questions with her around the material of the course. Olena, thank you for accepting my invitation. I'm a bit excited. How are you today?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm also very excited, and it's a pleasure to be here.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm very much looking forward to sharing my experience, and it's always so nice to talk to you. So it's already a transformative space for me to just have this conversation.
Oh, thank you for mentioning it. Actually, especially I wanted to talk with you about transformation. So can you tell me about what was it, if there was any issues around your voice or projecting your voice or speaking voice or singing voice before we have worked together?
Yeah, of course. I think as every person who works on their voice, I had lots of milestones on my way. And I think before we met, I went to many, I don't know, choirs or singing teachers, and basically I could never find something called like my voice or some kind of voice which would give me pleasure to talk with or to even sing with. And it was pretty difficult for me to go through like from one, I don't know what's called in English, but from one level to another pitch, whatever. Yeah, that was basically my difficulty. And maybe I wasn't so brave to sing. And sometimes if someone says like, oh, can you sing that? I would be like, yeah, I can. And then my voice would crack, I would get shy, and I would be self-conscious, and it would just get worse. So I basically had very, very little confidence in how I sang.
Yeah. Thank you. And I think you're very much not alone with this. And, you know, all these rules around singing and what we should and could do when we sing or even when we speak is just so consciously controlled, and it doesn't give more freedom in my way. And so what was the transformation that occurred when we worked together or after we have worked together?
Yeah. Most important thing here is that the transformation didn't just occur on the voice level, although I'm going to mention it, but it was both the personal and the experiential level and the voice. So speaking about the voice, through the course, you gave all these beautiful techniques, which were not only related to like, how can you actually sound better and how can you, subtract that sound from the very core. But also like, how is it possible not to be so shy and timid like when I sing? And I could totally see the effect of it, because first of all, I could see that my voice got deeper, but also I managed to learn how to sing higher at the same time staying at my speaking voice. So like this transition to the higher pitch became much easier and like more understandable of like, okay, this is what it actually is. Yes. So basically, what I observed is that I could sing pretty much anything that was difficult previously, and I would be okay. If it's not good, it's just not good. It's not me. Yeah. So I became more brave and more playful with it, and I think I started using it more. Even I'm holding some sessions or like some, I don't know, mindfulness practices, and I started inviting people to use their voice more because I felt, okay, I'm very courageous to use it right now, and I can totally lead people into this journey. So I think lots of things that I was kind of carrying on my shoulders with it, they left. Yeah. And there is a second part of it.
Okay, go ahead. I'm just reflecting shortly that I'm so glad that you are mentioning that the change didn't happen just on the voice level, because that's how I work. I think voice is completely connected to our whole being, to our bodies, to our soul. And so it's not really possible to find our own voice metaphorically without working on our physical voice, and the other way around. So if we work on our physical voice, it always goes to deeper layers. So I just wanted to add this. Thank you for mentioning it. So go ahead and tell the second part of your answer.
Yeah, and you're right. Actually, I think for women, voice is like expressing so much, and like so much tension from the bottom of our bodies, from I don't know, the womb, and all these. There is a lot of connection, in my opinion, and like from in my feelings as well. Yeah, and the second part was that basically the journey was also about the transformation and processing our personal life transformations through writing songs or through creating random songs in the moment. And I could also see how music actually helps to process some things which are not verbalizable. So sometimes it's the experience is so difficult, and it's so like emotional that I cannot attend to it on my own, or I would be a little bit scared, of course, because it's not so easy. But in your space, especially when we met in person or during the classes also, it was so beautiful to have this very, very caring, this nourishing space where, you know, you hold us like little babies or little girls, and it's possible to say like what's the big deal, you know, and that this big deal can be seen from different perspectives, and it's like transforming like the dough or like the bread, it's baked into something very beautiful from something very sticky. And I cannot really express how important it was for me. I still remember some of the songs we made up while having a class, and I have them in my head, and I remind myself of those experiences. They're very big anchors for me, actually. Yeah. So
Anchors. Oh, you mentioned the word anchors, and it brings me to safety, because I think it's the number one prerequisite for change is actually safety, because we work beyond our comfort zone. Of course we do, but for that, in order to be able to do that, my first foundation is to create this safe place. It is actually a sisterhood where we create a fire with all these gestures. So thank you for bringing this up. Yes, yes. Yeah, we all the time caressing each other and also imitating some flames of a fire, which is symbolic, but also it brings a lot of love and a lot of warmth in the online space. So I'm really delighted to listen to you, and all these examples that you brought back, the songs, the lyrics, the improvising on melodies with different maybe sticky or heavy stuff that you mentioned. And I think in the moment we start to sing just as a kid would start to sing, all this heaviness of the meaning of the word, all the emotions just start to lighten, be more light, or start to come up to the surface. And from this moment, it's not in the dark anymore, so we can do something with it. And so it was so nice to see this process in all of our students to see. So thank you, Olena. It's very touching for me, and with you, it's very. It's even a deeper conversation, because beside you coming to my course, we also did something together, because you come from Ukraine, and when the war started, I was thinking, what can I help? How can I be at help? The most help I can give. What is it exactly? And I'm a singer, and I teach voice work and expression of emotions through the voice and growth through the voice to people. So why don't we implement this? So I immediately contacted you, and with your wonderful energy and help, we made 2 classes, and I think we will continue that, because the war is continuing. So it was a very meaningful and deep work for me. So first, I would like to acknowledge your effort to bringing people in the online space. And second, it was also, how did you see that? Because many of your Ukrainian circle, or your friends, your mom, came to these classes, and what was your main takeaway from these classes for you?
First of all, I wanted to say that you're so generous and brave and creative for offering this space. It was just such a beautiful surprise, and so touching in this like very difficult moment to feel your presence and to feel your support. And yeah, I'm very, very grateful for that. Okay, let's not cry in the video.
Yeah.
But my main takeaway is that despite that basically that the music and sound is an international language, and sometimes we had people who didn't even speak English, so we were translating in the chat. But I think every person could grasp how you are. I tell everyone that you're an angel and then that you're, you know, like a sunshine. And I think every person could feel this, you know, very, very, yeah, very vulnerable and very caressing and tender space that you created. And I wanted to say that probably the exercises we did were very simple and implementable. So, but how you present them and the fact that you do them yourself and that it's something, yeah, that actually helps. It puts so much, you know, so much importance into those that people can actually, yeah, do them at any moment, at any place of their life. Yeah, and but they would also work and help their anxiety or their confidence or something else. And it was beautiful that you put in the psychological aspect into it, like how does the voice help to manage the emotions and manage stress and like actually open up when it's very hard to open up. Yeah, so this was extremely meaningful, and everyone had so many, like, you know, the flood of love was going through me too.
Thank you for saying all this, because I can relate to it very much, because for me as well, the singing psychological side is very important, and I work with it more and more. And it was first just me in the first decades of my life, and now it's others. So I like to serve other people, because I realized that voice work and singing are one of the best tools for emotional balance, creating emotional balance. And also when at war, I can't even imagine, I just know from stories from my grandmama, but I can't even imagine how you must be suppressing your emotions, otherwise you don't survive. So in this kind of situation, doing this with your voice and letting your emotions come out, it gave back like a stock of energy to people. And I could really felt it on camera with some of our colleagues and friends, that how much more light in the end of the class they had, and how much more kind of, you know, aliveness or life simply in their bodies. Yeah. So it was so nice to see. And again, thank you for your contribution in that. And I think we'll continue. I think we should.
Should do it.
We should
So
do it.
good.
And thank you again, Olenka, for being here with me and with us. And thank you for your generosity and saying so precisely what you've been through. And I really wish you that you enjoy this transformation even more, and you'll bring this further. And so, sorry, you want to say?
Yeah. I wanted to also thank you and say to everybody who is considering or thinking about it, like, should I do it? Should I not? I'm not actually a singer. I wanted to say that you don't have to be one, and that if you can actually make sounds and you like it to a certain extent, this would be such a huge thing. You wouldn't recognize yourself. I think many people after the Ukrainian sessions told me they felt like celebrities actually, and they felt so seen. So this is not only about singing. This is a lot about singing, but also not about it in so many ways and so many layers. So thank you for making this offering and for putting yourself out there in English to everyone online.
I love you.
This is a great. I love you.
It's very nice from you. And also really especially it is not for singers, or I mean for people who like singing, but it's more like a tool. Singing and voice work is a tool to express all those emotions which all of us had down there, and this is a deep healing modality too. So thank you, Olena, for bringing this up, and thank you for being here, and see you very soon. I love you very much. And so for those who like Olena's work and testimonials, I would like to invite you warmly to my course, Unleashing Your Authentic Feminine Voice for Power and Impact. We start on the 24th of October, and we continue to bring this wisdom of voice to the world and contribute something better. Thank you, Olena.
Thank you, Bea.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.